everyone, it's Traci from Downward Dog Rising. I'm inviting you tonight to join me for a yoga unwinding session. So let's stretch a bit, unwind from our day, and we might need a belt. So if you have a belt from your pants, if you don't have a yoga strap, that'll work just fine. And you just need a belt, whether it's from your pants or yoga belt, yoga strap, they both will do. So let's start off. I'm gonna ask you to come into a position where we stretch the sides of our waist long. So let's come into an easy pose where we just cross at our ankles. And then I want you to feel like you're rooted down into Muladhara, your root chakra. And the color of Muladhara root chakra happens to be red, so I didn't plan that, but let's work with it. So just envision the color red. And I want you to take a deep inhale, reach hands all the way up. Come into Anjali Mudra, bring hands to heart. And just feel rooted into the earth energy, the grounding, the supportiveness. One more time, we're going to take a deep inhale, reach arms to sky. Gently bring hands to heart. Anjali Mudra. Now think of heart healing, green, color green. Envision the color green. And then from here, gently, just take one arm down by side. We're going to stretch our hand behind our head, elongate the entire spine up before you do anything else. You're elongating up. And then I want you to slowly start to stretch to the side. Let's do 3. Come back up. I want you to inhale, expand, breathe into your ribs. Exhale, come back up one more time. Breathing in, exhale. And then this time we're going to take it down and hold. You could put a yoga block under your forearm if it feels like it's a bit too much here in the side of your rib cage. Bring the mat, the floor up to you. And just take a few breaths here. Open up the entire side. Feel the stretch from the mid-axillary line under the armpit, all the way down to the side of your hip. Let those ribs expand. Inhale. Exhale. Feel stretching. Root down into that sits bone so those ribs open apart. Inhale. Exhale. 2 more times, breathing in. Exhale, 1 more time, gently breathe in. Exhale, now we're gonna stretch that whole side, lift all the way back up. And then we're gonna go 3 times this way. Sometimes one side's tighter than the other, so I'm giving you a chance to get to the mat without forcing yourself. We're gonna stretch up, out of our center, stretch a little deeper, and let's do one more time. Really lengthen up. Feel those ribs open apart. Exhale. And then if you want to grab a block, placing the yoga block underneath your arm, you can do so. Otherwise, we're just going to take it towards the floor. We're going to elongate up, bring hand behind our head, elbow wide. Really feel this collarbone open wide. We're stretching up out of our center. Breathe. Keeping your sits bone connected into the mat. Reach that side long. And inhale. And exhale. Just gently feel those ribs expand. Feel some space open between those ribs. You're breathing in. And then you're breathing out a little deeper. Ribs expand. Feel this whole side line open up. Breathing in. Keeping that sits bone down. You want your pelvis to stay down on the mat. One more deep inhale here. Feel those ribs open. Stretch this arm up. Now gently you're gonna rise back up. Excellent. Good job. So now this next exercise that I want you to do, still stay in Sukhasana, this position. And then after you lift your arms straight up, feel equal weight through each half of your pelvis. The more you lift the arms up, the more those sits bones sink into the mat underneath you. Then we're going to take our arms down in front. And then I want you to slowly start to stretch your body forward. You want to feel your low back open up. So we're just stretching our back, the hips. Take a brief breath in. And then exhale. And then breathing in. And then exhale. Just let that low back pull apart. Exhale, hip hinge, breathing in, breathing out. One more time, breathing in, breathing out. And last time, breathing in, breathing out. Slowly, I want you to walk in, and then we're going to turn, middle of breastbone, rotates towards the thigh, and then I'm going to ask you to stretch over to one side. Gently pull heart forward, hip hinge, and then as you stretch to the left, you're going to feel the right side of your low back stretch. So you're just breathing in and breathing out. Feeling that low back pull apart. Inhale and exhale. Breathing in and exhale. Two more times. And exhale. Feel space between the ribs opening one more time. Breathing in. And softly exhale. And then you're going to walk hands in, rising up to top of head. Now we're going to rotate our breastbone towards the front of our thigh. As you lengthen the entire spine up, I want you to really feel your chakras align. And then we're going to lift up our breastbone. And then let's switch, other ankle, other side. We're just gonna switch it up real quick. After you lift and lengthen, I want you to slowly start to hip hinge. Remember to keep both sits bones down on the mat. Now feel the lower left side of your back start to release. And just breathing in, lift up your heart. Exhale. Breathing in. Exhale. Two more deep inhales. Really sink into those sits bones. Pull your heart forward. Inhale. And then exhale. Feel how those ribs open up even more. And one more time, deep inhale. And exhale. Slowly rise up to the top of your head. Excellent. And then from here, what I want you to do, bring the bottoms of your feet together in front of you. So you're going to come into your seated butterfly and then just really sink down into each half of your pelvis as you rise up to the top of your head, just aligning your spine. Feel those inner thighs Stretching, maybe let the knees float up and down a couple times just to get the blood circulation through there. Breathing in, breathing out. And then gently release. And then see if you can rotate these thigh bones, rotate out. The bottoms of your feet face up. And then you don't have to press the knees down. You'll notice how the legs fall naturally, all on their own. They might even fall down deeper as you stretch your arms to the sky. Feel how you get a little bit more external rotation of that femur bone, that thigh bone, deeper into the hip socket. And then we're just going to bring the arms down. Keep lifting up your heart. And then we're going to do a little hinge forward. Just to loosen up the hips and the inner thighs. Keep rooting down into the root chakra, Muladhara. So you're just feeling that deep core connection. Feel how you're centered. The ribs expand. Maybe you breathe all the way down into your belly. Maybe you breathe just into the lower lobes of the lungs. See what works best for you. You just want to get the air down lower than the chest so it can go deeper into the lower lobes of your lungs to get that full oxygenization through your system. So you're just inhaling deeply and exhaling. And then rising up, I want you to take a step forward with both feet. So you're just moving your feet further away from your groin, going into a deer pose. Not deer, I'm sorry. I meant to say, I know what I want to say. Sometimes at the end of the day, let me think about this. Diamond, because my legs are like in a diamond shape. So we're in our diamond by just sliding our feet away from us. So we're opening the space right here in that crease between the thigh and the hip joint. We're opening that space in there. We're also opening up some space between the back of the lower ribs as well as the back of the pelvis, the iliac crest. So we're elevating. And then as we open the space here, the soft tissue between ribs and hip bones, we're lengthening up, and then we're going to stretch over the legs. And then if the first one was tight in the hips for you, this one will feel a little bit better because of the anatomical position. So everyone's hips are designed different ranges of motion. So we all have different ranges, different capabilities. So you're going to work within what feels right for you without forcing anything. So you feel that you're working, but you're not going all the way to the end range because we need a place to grow into. So we're not going all the way to the very end at the beginning. Giving ourselves some space so that we can have a place to go to. Just glide into it gently, breathing in and breathing out. Maybe you'll wrap your hands around your feet and then just rest your elbows or your forearms across the lower legs as you lift your heart, hinge a little deeper. And if you want to go closer to the ground, you could put your forehead on a yoga block as you go closer to the ground. You could even make a fist and rest your forehead on the fist, on the floor if you can reach. That's good too. So work what's best for you in the now. Go a little deeper if you can. Just take 2 more deep inhales. Softly, gently release. 1 more time, deep inhale. And then softly, gently release. Slowly, we're gonna make our way up. I want you to close the knees together. Take hands straight up, lengthen the spine, roll those shoulders down and back as arms come down under the shoulders. And I want you to gently just do a little windshield wiper from side to side to release your hips. And then we're gonna use our strap or our belt next, because we just got into your inner thighs and your hips, and I wanna get down the side, that iliotibial band tracking. So now, what I wanna do here, we're gonna come down to our mat, and then let's go easy tonight. Take hands behind the thighs, lift up your heart so your spine is long. You're breathing in, and then I want you to slowly start to peel into the back of your pelvis. Breathe in, and then I want you to use the resistance of pressing into the back of your upper thighs to create more space between the next vertebra. Scoop the abdominals in, vertebra by vertebra. Use control. Scoop in deeper. Use control, little by little. My voice is shaking because I'm in my core and it quivers. So you're coming all the way down to the mat. And then if you have a belt from your pants, what I usually do, I just put my foot right in the center of the belt and hold the side edges. So that's good. And then if you do have a yoga strap, you could do the same thing. Like when I don't want to take the time, I just go like that. And then since I already have this little thing made in here, I don't have to fasten it. I just give it a little tug, open the little space, and then my foot can go through. So what I wanted you to do here is keep both of your hip bones straight and level all the way across. So you're aligned. You're going to take this other leg straight to the mat, your tailbone's long against the mat, and then relax your shoulders. You don't want to hike them up. Bend elbows, just relax your arms down on the mat. Now maybe you'll just pull the leg towards you and then just hold that stretch. So you're going to feel the stretch up the back of the thigh here. Maybe you'll do 3 reaches just to warm up a little bit. Pull the leg towards you. And then 2 more. I'm just going to lower the leg, lift the leg. You're getting into the hamstrings, back of thigh. 1 more time. I'm just going to have you stretch that leg up. Hold it here. Breathe. Maybe flex. And it's going to stretch through here. The soleus. And then through the Achilles tendon, and then we're going to go up into that bigger calf muscle, that gastrocnemius, and just pull that leg towards you. Keep the hips level. Breathe. Feel how that entire spine lengthens into the mat. The back of the thighs, stretching those hamstrings, breathing in, breathing out. 2 more times, breathing in, breathing out. And 1 more time, deep inhale. Let out a deep sigh. Let that breastbone melt. Get the air out of the lungs. All right. Next, your two hip bones face directly above you to the sky. And I want you to reach your leg to the side without rotating your hips. And then bring your leg back 3 times. Reach to the side. Bring it back. One more time. You're reaching to the side. Bring it back. Now the goal, keep your hips straight to the sky as you reach, and you're just gonna feel how you're stretching the inner thigh, breathing in, breathing out. Hips are straight to the sky, breathing in, breathing out. You can go higher if it's all right. You're not rotating your pelvis. Doing a 3-way stretch. I forget the first Sanskrit name, but the second name that comes after the first name is Padangusthasana A. This is Padangusthasana B. I'm just missing the first word. Now we're going to release, and then we're going to keep our hips stable down on the mat. And then I want you to just reach this way. I'm not going to have you rotate your spine right now. I want you to just keep the sits bone on the mat. And I want you to create a little space between the front of the rib cage and the front of the hip bone. 2 more. I'm going to reach across. So I'd rather stabilize your spine right now than have you go into a spinal twist. And then as you're keeping your spine stable, you're still keeping your pelvis on the mat. There is one where we could twist our pelvis and lift and rotate, but I'm just having you keep your sits bone down for now. See if you can stretch the whole side of the ribs apart and just let that leg come off to the side. Stay here for a moment. And then if you want to deepen the stretch, if it's intense through the side of your hip or down the side of the thigh or into the lower part of the leg, even the ankle, the foot, then you're not going to do this next part. If you want to deepen it, turn the toes down, the ankle turns in, and you would not do this one for sure with a hip replacement. You never cross like this across the middle line with a hip replacement because you don't want to knock it out of place. So very important that you avoid this with a hip replacement. So you're going to feel how it stretches all the way down, that track all the way. There's lots of intersecting muscles. Breathing in, breathing out. Gently release the foot if that gets to be too much pointing down. Just relax it. For a variation, you can lift up on the diagonal a little, go a little deeper into here. Inhale, exhale, keep the chest open, and gently release. That was pretty intense, so we're gonna get out of there now. Fold your opposite foot in, switch the belt to the other side, extend this leg, and you're gonna feel how the front of this thigh really lengthens. And then I want you to relax your shoulders down into the mat, collarbones open wide. Slowly, you're gonna lift your leg up. Slowly lower down 3 times. And 2. One more time. You're going to lift that leg up and hold. So your hips are square to the sky. Breathing in, breathing out. That entire spine elongates. Maybe you even flex your bottom foot if you wanted to. Breathing in, breathing out. Come a little closer if you can. And one more time, soften the breastbone. Let the breastbone melt down into the chest. Now I want you to reach to the side without rotating your pelvis. Come back center, reach to the side, and then come back center. One more time. You're gonna reach to the side. And now we're gonna hold it there for a moment. Keep chest open. And you're keeping your hips squared to the ceiling. And just stay here and breathe. One more deep inhale. And gently release. Excellent. So again, I want you to keep opposite sits bone on the mat. I'm not having you do a spinal twist. I want you to stretch across the body. Come back 3 times. Think of opening the space between rib cage, hip bone, and the front. Create a little distance there between rib and hip. And then holding to the side, collarbones wide, shoulders down and back. Chest is open. And avoid going across midline with the hip replacement. And now from here, if you want to do a slight variation, rotate toes towards floor, deepen that stretch, maybe lift up a little higher. Feel the side of that hip and glute. One more time. And gently release. Awesome. So we're just going to take our foot out of the strap, and then we don't need the strap anymore. So that was good. All right. So from here, we're on our mat. We're lying on our back. I want to take you into banana pose, banana asana. And we worked on getting some space here between the front of the rib cage, the front of your hip bone, that soft tissue to open apart. So now I want to hit that same spot on the other side, on each side of your spine. So this will be a good one for that area, because if you ever hip hike and you have one leg that's shorter than the other, and sometimes the pelvis rotates or torques, there's different reasons, but sometimes our quadratus lumborum muscle in the back can hike up. It can get really tight and pull, and then our hip can go up higher, and then also a tight psoas can have that same effect. So there's different things that could happen to make one hip go up higher and the leg to be shorter, where it's the pelvis causing it. So if you take your hips up, no weight in the neck, and you're just gonna like transfer a little bit to the right side of the mat. So I'm gonna come closer to you. And then once you shift your pelvis a little bit to the side, your shoulders shifted too, I want you to take your left foot, and then I want you to just slowly start to reach your left foot off to the left. If it's uncomfortable on your back, on your low back or your hip, then you're going to stay centered all the way down the center line and just do it centered. Otherwise, take the left foot a little bit off to the left. Then you're going to take the right foot ankle, cross over the left. Reach your arms over your head, tailbone long. This left hand goes and grabs your right wrist. You're going to stretch the arms overhead, elongate head away from tailbone. Then I want you to start pulling your wrist up and towards the left side. So the right wrist is going to get pulled to the left. If you do feel your shoulders starting to hike up towards your ears, then there's something I want you to do instead of that. Then I want you to softly start to bend your elbows on the floor behind you so you still have some space between your shoulders and your ears, because I don't want you to hike them up. So then you could just soften your elbows, and then I want you to just stay here and breathe. So I want you to just feel length on the side of your spine. You're inhaling, and then you're exhaling. And if it's too much to have your legs going off to the left a little bit, then you're going to stay centered instead. Just really breathe, expand into your ribs. We're going to stretch that right side of the spine. And you might be stretching too far if it pinches the opposite side of the spine, like if you're stretching the right. But if by stretching the right side pinches the left, then you need not to go so far towards the left because you're compressing it. So find the point if you are feeling pinched or compressed, not to feel it. Both sides should feel open. Breathing in. Feel those ribs expand three-dimensionally. Release. Ribs softly cascade down together. And one more deep inhale here. Exhale, softly, gently release. Slowly, we're gonna return, uncross. Carefully bring arms down. Take a second. Reset on the mat. We're gonna slide a little bit over. Our shoulders are right over the hips. Shoulders, hips, knees, ankles, everything's aligned. Maybe lift up pelvis. Set the hips back down so you're level, you're even. And then I'm going to have you start to take your right leg a little bit to the right, unless that hurts your back or your hip. And then you're going to crisscross. You're going to take that left ankle over the right ankle. Take this left arm up over your head. Right arm is going to reach and grab the left wrist. Lengthen head away from tailbone and slowly start to stretch over towards the right. And then notice where your shoulders are. If your shoulders hike up at all, maybe bend your elbows on the floor like that behind your head so your shoulders can still stay relaxed. Now just breathe. Let those ribs fully open apart. So we're stretching out the left side of the spine now as we reach over to the right. If you do get pinching pain on the right side, that means you're compressed, and that means you're going too far over for what your body can handle. So you'd ease back, ease off of it a little bit, come more center, or maybe center your legs straight down the mat. Just always pay attention to how your body feels. Listen to your body and where you're at. Softly let those ribs cascade down and together as you exhale. You're breathing in, and then you're exhaling, softening your sternum, your breastbone. It melts down into the chest. Feel the middle back between the shoulder blades. Release down into the mat as you exhale. Your neck should feel natural, not overstretched. Just softly letting the air back out, getting rid of any toxins, any negative energy. Just let it out, let it go. Any buildup, metabolites in your body from working out, just let it go with the breath. That breath brings blood flow, needed oxygen, and also transports out the waste products. Two more deep inhales here. And one more time. Release slowly, making your way back to the center of the mat. Relax those arms down by your sides. They might feel a little stiff in the shoulders for a second. And you're just realigning your shoulders, your hips, your knees, your ankles. And then what I want you to do here, see if it's okay if you lift up your heels and then just lower them down. The heels go up and then the heels go down. So I'm just having you lift the heel. Ow, now I'm getting a cramp. The heels go up, stretch, release. The heels come back down. Two more. And one more time. All right. So I want you to go into a bridge position, and I want you to feel the collarbones open across shoulders and chest, so those shoulders avoid hiking up. So you feel open. I don't want you to put pressure on the neck. So think of going across where the shoulder girdle is, middle back. And then what I want you to do here is press into all four corners of your feet. And I want you to feel how your tailbone stretches away from you. And then just feel open across shoulders, chest. Maybe your arms are on the ground. Careful the knees, avoid splaying outward. Keep the knees in line with these hip sockets. Your arms can either be on the ground or you're gonna stretch, interlace your fingers, tips behind you, together, hands together, palms together. And then I want you to just really open those shoulders, no pressure on the neck. Go a little down, lower, below the neck, across those middle back muscles. And then I just want you to gently stay here and breathe for a few cycles. If you need some support, grab your yoga block and then stick the yoga block either horizontally under the pelvis or vertically straight down to the point of where your tailbone is. And then you could just lay the pelvis over it for a little assistance and support. So it'll be more of a release rather than a strengthening move. Here it's more of a strengthening move. If this feels like it's too much, slide that yoga block right under the pelvis. And just take a couple more breaths here. Tailbone long. Feel those glutes working. Those core muscles are engaged. Those glutes are working. One more time. And gently undo the arms. Lift the arms up. Reach back. Plug them into the back of the shoulder girdle. Pull those ribs so they knit down together so you avoid popping the ribs up. And then that way you stay integrated and you don't arch the back. And then you're going to start to lift the arms up so you feel those shoulder blades anchored down deeper into your back muscles. And then I want you to keep the arms reaching all the way down by your sides. And then I want you to place one vertebra down. You wouldn't articulate down if you have a fusion in your spine. You would just go straight down from your hip hinge to protect your back. Otherwise, peel down to the next vertebra. Inhale, go down to the next. Exhale. Inhale, go down, getting a cramp. Exhale, my glute. Ow. Go down to the next. Go down. Ow. Cramping up. Down to the next vertebra. Pull through your center. Control. Lower each segment. Go slow. When you feel like there's not a lot of movement, that's because a couple segments are moving together. I felt that down lower towards the bottom. There was less motion, so some of those were locked together a little bit. So that's what you're feeling for, so that you can work on more mobility in certain areas. Gently hug your knees into your chest. If it hurts the knees to hug in this way, if that's pressure, then just take your hands under the knees and hug in like that. So see what works for you. And just let that low back sink deeper into the mat. So see which way works best for you. Breathing in, breathing out. One more time. And I'm just going with what feels good leading into the next pose. Like what would feel good right now. And I want you to do something to open the front of your hip more. And I'm not going to do a full-on frog because of a knee injury. And I can do it if I do one leg at a time. So I'm going to have us do half of a frog at a time. So we're going to release the legs, and then I just want you to turn onto your abdominals. So we're going to turn like this, and then we're just going to come up to our hands and our knees. And then before we take it into a frog or half a frog, I want you to press your palms down, spread your shoulder blades wide to the sky, create a little space, middle back. And then you're gonna pull your heart forward, stretch your tailbone long, look straight up and away, and then do a couple cat-cows. Tighten your core to your back, and then just stretch your spine, lengthen it. 3 more. Drop your chin and drop your tailbone, and then stretch apart 2 more times. Get some length in your spine. We don't round the back with osteoporosis. You would just stay neutral, do a little extension, come back into neutral, do a little extension. That would be your modification right there. All right, now we're gonna take it down to the mat. So I want you to pull your elbows to your body, and then you're gonna slide down. And then once you slide down like that, I'm gonna ask you to slide to one edge of your mat, and then you're gonna fold your knee to the side. So your knee and your ankle, your shins parallel with the knee and the ankle. See if it's okay to flex that foot. Your pelvis is facing down on the mat, and then you can either use a yoga block as a pillow under your forehead, or you could just crisscross your arms and then just relax your forehead on the back of your hands. And I want you to feel like this tailbone stretches long behind you. We're just going to stay here for a few breaths, head away from tailbone. It's going to be cooling effect as we open the back of the spine. So the back of the spine is facing outward, so it's going to be, that's more yin energy, that's cooling. Breathing in, it's going to calm your energy levels down. Breathing in, and then breathing out. Inhale, exhale. Oh, one more deep inhale here. And softly, gently release. Wonderful. So I'm going to ask you to just take this leg, slide it down to your mat, and then I want you to rock hips gently side to side. Ooh, I'm getting a cramp again. Oh my goodness. Ah. Ooh. Rock hips side to side. Release your spine. Maybe nod head side to side so sides and neck can release. Just going across Ajna, wisdom center, center of forehead. And then from here, I want you to slide over to this other side of your mat. And then I'm actually gonna change directions real quick. So right knee is gonna go to the side of the right hip. I'm gonna slide a little bit over more just because I want the knee to be on the mat. You flex your foot so you have that angle from the knee, the shins parallel to the ankle, your leg is to the side of your hip. And then you want to feel how your tailbone stretches long behind you. Flex this foot. You're inhaling and you're exhaling. The bottom of my foot starting to cramp again. So I need some more electrolytes. It's obvious. So you're just going to relax your forehead on the backs of your hands. Or take a yoga block and then place your forehead on the yoga block. And you're just breathing in and breathing out. I'm stretching my foot because it's cramping otherwise. Stay here and breathe. Feel that openness through that hip joint, that inner thigh. The low back releases as well. Tailbone long. Exhale, a couple more breaths here. Just let that hip release. If this ever bothers your knee, you would come out of it immediately. Don't wait until you feel discomfort, because we shouldn't feel discomfort like bone on bone or anything. Let's take one more deep inhale here. Exhale, softly, gently release. Excellent. And then I want you to slowly, gently, just take that leg and you're going to extend it out straight. And then I want you to gently just rock your pelvis side to side, release the low back. And then I'm going to have you do something to strengthen your back, because it's important to balance out core work when you work out as well as back strengthening work, so that you don't become imbalanced. So I'm gonna have you keep your body in a single file line. Your shoulders are gonna rotate down, back, away from your ears. And I want you to feel how you can open up the collarbones And I actually want you to lift your heart, lift the arms, palms reach the sky, really feel the chest open. And then I want you to scoop abdominal wall in as your arms, your legs lift up off the floor, off the mat, and come back in. Inhale, and then exhale. You're gonna float the arms up. In Pilates, we would call this pre-Pilates flight. Core scoops in, chest is open. Tilt chin a little baby bit down so the back of the neck stays elongated. And come back in. Exhale, scoop abdominals in, hold, gently release. You could do just the upper body. If it was too much to do both, you could do just the upper body like that. And then you could do just the lower body. You don't have to do them both at once. So you could vary it depending on what feels right for your body. And scoop and lift. And 5. Abdominals have to zip up, so you're lifting them into the low back away from the mat. And 4, really feel shoulders down away from ears. And come back in. And 3, those collarbones are wide. And 2 more times, just had a little back adjustment. Inhale, feels like it just freed and loosened up where I needed it to. And 2, scoop your core in tight. 1 more time, scoop abdominals, tailbone long. And gently lower down, wonderful. Take the hands under your shoulders, bend your knees, and then I want you to just press straight up. And then I want you to walk your knees forward, curl the toes under, or sit on the tops of the feet. Trying to see if I'm getting a cramp. I'm going to push into the toes just to stretch them out a little. Now I want you to come into our rest pose, Balasana, because we're going to end in our rest pose. Pull the heart through towards the mat. Send those sits bones reaching behind you. Relax your forehead on the mat. And just release. Feel those sits bones reach back behind you. And breathe. Maybe reach into the fingertips so you feel more of a stretch from under the armpits. Breathing in, maybe your forehead doesn't touch the mat, that's okay too. Breathing in, breathing out. Just soften, let those sits bones pull to the backs of your thighs so you feel that sensation of your low back reaching an oppositional energy. And you want that energy to travel up and down the spine. Feminine and masculine energies running up and down the spine. Breathing in, breathing out. You want them to balance out. And maybe you'll vary your rest pose by, if you're under the toes, if the toes are curled, maybe go to the tops of the feet. And then maybe you'll take your arms and just slide them straight back like this. Slide those arms back. Relax. So you feel a deeper stretch across your upper mid-back. Sides of neck are long. Palms to sky. This is cooling, relaxing for the spine, having the spine face out this way, the back of the spine facing outward, very cooling. It's bringing your energy levels, cooling them down. Take one more deep inhale. And exhale, softly, gently release. Wonderful. Slowly bring your hands under the shoulders. You're going to press down into the palms as you rise up, top the head away from tailbone. Just stretch, come up to a seated position. And then what I want you to do, I just want to do a little rotation through the middle of your back. So I'm going to ask you to sit one leg in front of the other. And then what I want you to do here, your palm is going to be on the mat. And I just want you to elevate, open heart. Exhale, reach under this arm. We're just going to do 3. Open those collarbones. Exhale, reach under this arm. And 2. Really stretch shoulders and chest. One more time. Breathing in. And then exhale, reach under this arm. And then we're going to switch. So you're going to take this leg in, that leg back. And then you're going to open. And then you're going to reach under this arm. Getting a little bit of motion through your thoracic spine, mid-back. Exhale all the air out of your lungs. 2 more. Inhale, exhale. One more time. Little Pilates mermaid. And then exhale. Excellent. Come back into Sukhasana and easy pose and just reach. Feel rooted, feel centered, grateful, balanced. And I thank you for joining me. I hope this helped. I hope you feel a little bit more loose, a little less stiff through those joints. Hopefully got everything feeling like it's loosened and opened up. All right, if you like my content, please hit share, like, subscribe. I'd so appreciate it. Thank you so much. Peace, everyone. Hope this helps. See you again soon. Take care. Bye. I'm gonna get some electrolytes now. Bye. Take care. Peace.